Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer and we are playing War in the East by Gary Grigsby. So we are playing as the Germans. We tried to advance on Moscow and we were very close to actually achieving that. You can see our lines are just touching on Moscow. But, you know, I think it's not going to be feasible to take it. The Soviets have launched a massive counteroffensive here in winter 1941-1942. They have an enormous amounts of troops up here in the north. And I have absolutely no way of countering that. Indeed, our very thin line over here is already bulging in, and we definitively need to withdraw from over here. We need some forces to plug these gaps. We have got absolutely no reserves. So what we're going to do, we are going to need to withdraw a little bit from some of these positions that we have built up over there. We also need to be mindful of the southern situation here. We only got about 5 to 6, six infantry divisions down here, and they won't really be, they're not really capable of holding the ground. They're in good positions behind these rivers and so on, and they can slow down the enemy, but they'll not be able to beat them there. So what we are going to do is we are going to bring down these troops here, these infantry units. We're going to try to bring them down a little bit towards that front down there. And I think we're just going to walk them sort of down there, and that should hopefully be alright. We've also got another division up here which we could send somewhere. So you are based on this gentleman here. And you don't really seem to have any supporting units. Oh, you do have these supporting units down there? Is that it? Wait a minute, so you here, you're part of the 35th Corps? And all of your units are down here. Okay, so you're actually a little bit out of position, is what you're telling me. These guys down here are your friends, and this is a fortified zone. So I suppose we would want to bring it down here at the very least, and you can come up there a little bit more. Okay. Alright, let's bring you here. We've got a lot of units here now, and we could beat back this cavalry division a little bit, and that wouldn't be the worst thing that we could do, but we only have, well, not all of them are equally capable of attacking here. Does it make sense? What are we achieving doing this? I don't think it does. And on the other hand, you guys might want to come up there, but for now we're going to keep you where you are. Now this position up here looks sort of okay to me. I don't think you'll be able to make your way up to this headquarters, so that I think is fine. You guys have advanced already, so that's good to see, although you'll be very much hard pressed, I think, to continue your attack there. But that's alright, so that does bring us to this position up here, where we've got these tanks, these little circles, and quick divisions around the, centered around the 2nd Panzer Army, basically, all of these Cyan troops that are over here. It is still so tempting to me to strike to the north here and try to encircle Moscow still. But I just don't think it's feasible. I just don't think we'll be able to do that at all. Indeed, I think we have to actually give up this position here. So let's unassign these things here and disband this unit. It's a little bit unfortunate, but I think it's what we got to do. And then that brings us to bringing you back out of this encirclement, or beginning encirclement here. You can just see how tough that is at this moment. You can only really get you towards over here, not anywhere further. Could also bring you into this position here, so let's do that. And then you guys, some of you could get up over there, and that might not be the worst. Let's actually take the motorized division, because there's a little bit of, there's a little village there that I would like to keep, and then these tanks are going to just evacuate like that. These pink tanks, we do want to send them up towards the north as well. Don't really have the ability to send you out of here though for the moment. We do have a tank division down here, which we could, I suppose, pull back a little bit to rest and repair. You're very low on organization. Your morale is extremely good. Your TOE though, you've suffered quite a bit of losses. Alright. And now you can withdraw. Okay, that's okay. So we are bringing them a little bit more to the rear, which I suppose is good. Further units up here. Are you actually only part of like a very, very tiny core? Maybe. Who's actually under your control? 2 panzer divisions and an infantry division. Interesting. Alright. Let's send you back. We want all of the pink units basically up there. So what? That is the XL core, and this is also the XL, so yeah, you're not going to come out of here. And who else is in your group? Someone over here? Yeah, this infantry division itself. Right, let's move you up there as well. And then move up the core itself. Okay, that's decent, I would say. Let's bring the air base a little bit towards over here. That's okay. You're fine where you are. You basically will try to get rid of these guys, and then that does leave a couple of divisions over here, including the railroads that we've just built up to connect over here, so that's good to see. We also have a fortified zone over here, which is starting to build this up. That's good to see. Some of these other areas really do need a fort though. Is there any particular area that we'd want to fortify? I mean, this is good. Question is whether we would want to, for example, take this area here and fortify it up a little bit. I think they will try to push us back, and it would be nice to sort of at least keep this railway line up and connected. We do have a bit of power, so let's actually go ahead and over here build a fortified zone. Yes. Can we sign anything to you? No, we cannot. Mostly because you're not aligned to anything. We do have a bit of support somewhere over here. You guys maybe? Do you have some support? Howitzers? Werfer, guns. No construction battalions though. How about you? There's a lot of different stuff here. But I do not see any Werfers. Sorry, any support. Then there's this position down here, which I very, very much like. This is controlling a lot of hexes around this bend in the river, and this is a large river, so this is an extremely good defensive position. A, because it's hard to take across the river, and B, it just blockades their movement quite nicely, and it's this sort of bend that I really, really like. So I would like to build a fortified zone here as well. Did it do that? Did I just click no? Can I only build one per turn? I shouldn't think so. Oh, I've just conquered it. Okay, so that's why I can't build it. Fine, fine. That's a fair point. Right, okay, so that's not going to be happening this turn. Over here, that's fine. We could think about just connecting this up. At least get another fortified zone here and there. Maybe that's not the worst idea. Let's build one here. And I suppose here. So that all of that is more as safe as we can make it. Good, yeah, that does work for me. Who are we going to assign that to though? We've got you here. And you know what? That's the 47th Corps. So let's go ahead and go take this unit and assign it to the 47th? I think that's the right one. Yeah, it is. Good. And let's assign a couple of units here. I'm gonna try to do... Well, I think a howitzer battalion is fine. I don't know the exact differences here. It's basically heavy artillery. 105mm. How about you? 210mm. That's even larger. And this one? 150. Let's assign you here. That's going to be nice. I would also like to assign a couple of construction battalions. But for now there's no luck in that regard. Right, how about you? You are controlling way too many units already. Well, not much we can do about that. How about you here? You are controlling basically all the units that you can, and you're a little bit too far to the north to my liking. How about the 12th Corps? What are you controlling? 2 infantry divisions. You're actually fine. So let's assign you towards the 12th one. 12th Corps. There we go. Can I assign anything? Yes! A construction battalion. That's good to just build up this this artillery piece. Definitely don't want to pick Stooks. How about the Werfers? These are fairly nice. But I suppose just normal artillery is a good enough point for this artillery position here. And then this one here, we are likewise gonna... No, sorry, not this way. We're likewise gonna assign you towards the 12th Corps. No further construction battalions, of course, but let's do go ahead and take the howitzers. And establish a little bit of a line here that we can fall back to. And that, I think, is brilliant. Right, you are controlling mostly units up there. So, I suppose I can move you back here. And that should allow you to still replenish. How about you? You're controlling a couple of units there and there, so that's okay. Let's move you out of here. Get you out of touch with the enemy. You here are alright. We're going to keep you here for a second. Everyone over here is fine. Going to keep the infantry where it is. Going to keep these units where they are for now. Yeah, all of you guys have already moved. You guys are fine as well. Situation down here is more or less stable. Oop, that was weird. And we are building up some railway lines here with sort of the building units that are controlled by the headquarter. And I think it's a fine choice to be doing that so that we are not quite as susceptible to partisans, especially with this here. Well, I mean, there are a couple of railway lines coming down here. Well, mostly this one though. If this position here was to fall, pretty much all of this would be cut off from supplies. So that's not good. And most importantly, I would really like this to be connected up there. Yeah. And down here we will need to be building up something. And again, connecting this up is nice, but over here would also be great, so that we're not quite as reliant on this area here. If they are breaking through here, pretty much all will be lost. that would be the end of us. Good. Let's take a look at the situation up here in the very north of Moscow. So we've got these green units. They're also tank units. We've been kicked out of this position here. And I'm not sure whether we will be able to hold up over there in Dmitriov. These guys, I think, are already very hard pressed for supplies. And they're not... I mean, it was useful to keep this area here, just to prevent them from floating around. But over here doesn't seem to be... I mean, we are open to attack. Yes, we are in a village, but is that enough to warrant a big defense like that? Got a couple of units up here, and I would like to prevent them from having a way too easy time. Still, this is only a brigade over here, so you cannot pass through here, I believe. Not easily, at least. This I think is impossible. Can I get any information on that? Impossible, yes. So that's alright. How about here? Impossible to the northeast? Yes. No, just a major river. So you are effectively holding these guys back for the moment. So that's alright. But maybe we do want to pull back nonetheless. I think we are too exposed over here. I mean, they can strike here, they can strike here. It's not that well defended. Okay, so let's pull back. Get you over here. Close to you. Your friends are sort of down there. I suppose what we could do is try to pull you back at least towards over here. Move back the headquarter unit. Yeah. And of course the airfield. Then you can come down here. You can guard the flank there. And the tanks themselves. So who's going to be attacked more likely? I guess these guys are. Let's move the tank back sort of as a rear unit, and you're going to be called as a reserve. So you can defend all of that area. Headquarter units, headquarter units. We've got a tank unit here. So I suppose we can bring them close towards this potential battle. But next turn, hopefully we'll be able to obliterate these guys. And that sort of settles it for the area up here. I don't want to withdraw from Moscow. What is going on here? What's going on here? Damn. Look at that. They only got a fortified region here in West Moscow. Huge, huge blunder by the AI there. Can I exploit that though? We've got 7 attack value here, but they are different armies, so they'll have a hard time coordinating. These guys are a little bit better suited at doing that, and I think they are loaded up with battalions of pioneers, Panzerjägers. Panzerjägers is a bit weird. Some flak. And you should be supported by ample artillery. We've got all of this siege artillery here. I mean, this is a very, very fortified hex. But it would be so, so lovely to take them out. But with only 5 attack value? Okay, let's try to do a deliberate attack here. You know what? Let's try to do a bombardment mission first. Let's see what we can bring over here. So, we've got a lot of fighters. That's alright, but we don't really need all of them, I think. I mean, 40 fighters are ample, I believe. Okay, some of you haven't flown, so let's bring you in. We've got a couple of level bombers, that's alright, a couple of dive bombers. A couple of level bombers. This is only 4 aircraft, really. Let's get a huge attack going on here. 120, 150 level bombers, basically. A couple of dive bombers. A couple of fighter bombers. Very few aircraft ready on these guys. $240 bombers. I don't think I have seen such a huge attack over here. Not all of them are engaging though, and they only lose about 40 men. That's disappointing, but they have lost. They have lost a unit there. Let's fly a recon mission as well. I want to make sure that we are getting all the intel that we can. And we're going to fly another mission on them. More dive bombers? Yes, please. Level bombers. Level bombers are not ideal to be flying this. I mean, dive bombers are so much more accurate. But I think we will be alright here. Only very few bombers and only 20 losses. Okay. That's it. That's all we can do. Let's do a deliberate attack. Population evacuates. And no, we cannot break them. It's only 4,000 men. But we are losing 150 men to their 40. Look at the amount of artillery pieces that I've got. Only marginal damage as well towards their units. And just look at how many support stuff we are committing to this battle. But by far we are not we can't break them. This is odds 1 to 1.2. Ah, this would have been so nice. Let's try one more time. It's 4,000 men. No. With their rocket brigades, I don't think it's possible to break them. They are getting weaker though. We cannot attack another time. We can of course attack from here. Getting there would be brilliant. I cannot overstate how much I would love to take out Moscow. Another attack from this side this time. Maybe we should have attacked from the same time. Yes! Yes! Good. Do we have anyone who's capable of moving in? Oh, come on. No, 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 don't do this to me. Only the tanks are capable of moving in. Yeah, it's a zone of control of these guys that is blocking us. I will not be able to beat these guys. Okay, so definitively though, our tanks will be moving forward. These guys are well too fortified up there. Yeah, just... It would be so nice to keep, but... Just look at the attack power on the other side of the river there. Anyone capable of moving in there? Not at all, right? Headquarter units maybe, but there's no point in that. Should I maybe have moved this in different order? I don't know. Jesus. So close. So close there. We need more than 8 movement points just to move into the city. That's all due to these guys, but this is more than 500 infantry squads and 400 mortars. I'm honestly a little bit surprised by the amount of mortars that the unit that we are seeing here. And we actually do have a little bit of a gap here that we do need to be mindful about. At least this airbase needs to move a little bit to the rear. Can you move them? You cannot. Let's put you into reserve. Yeah. Well, since there's no one who can get here, that's just the way it needs to be. Let's build up a fortified zone there in Moscow. Oh, I can't do that because I just conquered it. Yeah, of course. Well, it would be extremely nice. I mean, this is a victory point province for us. Not that much, 200 victory points, but another 50 for every turn that we keep it. I'm not that optimistic that we are going to keep it. Panzers in cities, not that great an idea. Well, we've got pioneers. We've also got flak. Have you got any other support units here? On well, which one was it? I think this one. Gun battalions, flak, Werfer, howitzer. I mean, you should be able to commit there. So which one is that? 41st. You. Come down here. I would definitely like to support these guys, if at all possible. Let's even move you up here. If we can support these guys with anything, that'd be great. Let's also ask you to be in reserve. I don't know whether you'll be able to make it over there, but that would be brilliant. Right, up over here. I suppose you cannot attack another time here with these guys. You could. Let's throw them back at least a little bit, potentially. On the other hand, it would weaken us as well, so I'm not going to do it. Move into Moscow. Oh, it would be brilliant. It would be so... This is so tempting. I mean, the game is tingling that in the front of us. But I definitely don't think we'll be able to do that there. Right, so we've got this army corps, which I suppose should actually be a little bit further towards here in the north, so that at least it can guard these guys. You must be coming back a little bit, but for now we can't really send you back either, because we need to be over here. That brings us to you being over there. You now have a very open road to this entire area. Let's actually pull this gentleman back, and then let's pull these guys back behind this city as well, and then the city at least has some capability of defending, doesn't it? Well, only with the security brigade. That's not a lot of defenses. At least you are very well dug in. That's good, at least. Oh man, Moscow. We are in Moscow, so we actually got further than they got historically. That's nice. And of course, somewhere over here should also be the area where Napoleon basically lost. I don't see the city though. Well, he actually won, but you know, it was sort of a fair victory. In Burkino, yeah, that. And we are running our railway line through that. Good. Oh man, oh man. I will do a little bit of air supply missions, especially to these gentlemen. I mean, I suppose I could do that right now. Let's see whether we can do that. Where is your airbase, by the way? It's over here. Let's bring this airbase down here, because that will allow air supply to come in here a little bit better. Okay, we've got a lot of fighters. We don't really have that many transport aircraft, but I would definitely like to use both of them. How are we doing in terms of supplies and or fuel? You have an okay amount of fuel actually, and alright supplies. Nevertheless, let's try to bring in more. More supplies. Delivered quite a bit of supplies, some ammo. Good. Not that much supply, but ammo is of course great because I expect you to be fighting a lot. Let's also try to give you a little bit of fuel. Even though you are in a city, I suppose... Fighter bombers? No, no, no. Okay, this pointless, this pointless. Fuel, yeah, let's launch this. 13 units, 14 units of fuel delivered over here. Brilliant. You are starting to look a little bit better. A lot of your stuff is damaged. You only have actually about 10, 12... We don't even have 20 tanks. Well, we do. So sorry, we don't even have 30 tanks that are actually defending Moscow over here. And about 10 or so half-tracks. Couple of infantry guns. Couple of mortars. Few pioneer squadrons. A couple of motorized rifle squadrons. But 60 squadrons, that's... It's nothing. 11,000 men in total. It's not that bad, but... Couple of Panzer Grenadiers, 9. Well, 9 squadrons. You're what, 12 men? We have a couple of 100 fighting men in Moscow. It's nice, but is it... There's no way it's gonna hold, is there? You can't get here either, no, yeah. Well, we could send troops into this fray here a little bit more, though. That might not be the worst idea. Okay, let's get this infantry division here. And let's at least move you up over here. That's okay, and we're also going to ask you to be in reserve. It does leave this here a little bit hanging in the balance. But I suppose they will not be able to move... Oh, speaking of moving, they will definitely be able to move here. Let's try to get out of their way here with our headquarters and all of that. Can you really not... Ooh, can you really not move from here? But that's bad. You'll be displaced probably. But at least the airfield shouldn't be replaced if at all possible. Ah, no man. 300 men over here, 300 squadrons over here, 350 over there. Not that many over here actually. Yeah. It's also only the fortified region. Only, quote unquote, only. Yeah, but 600 squadrons down here. Against, again, our 68. Well, we're not gonna make it. Okay, what we could do though is, I suppose, try to bomb these guys over here. They're not that well dug in. So, yeah, whatever. Let's launch the attack here. Just weaken them up a little bit. We're only killing like 40 men here. But it might be enough to disrupt them just that little bit so that they cannot really start their attack quite as easily. I'm hoping. There's no other way to say that. Right, how are you guys doing? You'd appreciate at least certainly more fuel and all of that, right? Let's also send more recon over here. And over here. Just to make sure that we are capturing their strength. They don't have any fortifications here. Well, I suppose what we could do is we could try to attack with these guys. That would be 4 strength, and we could try to attack here. At least to weaken them. At least so that they cannot as easily attack these tanks, and then they could only attack across the river. Let's do it. It's sort of a desperate measure actually. But we're not doing that badly over here. I mean, we are losing 200 men and they're only losing 500. Which is not the kind of ratio that we'd like to see. But it's definitively worthwhile to reduce their combat ability. Well, can't do another deliberate attack though. Nor can we do any promising other attack. So we've reduced their capabilities a little bit. So that's at least good enough for me that we are doing something there. And you are stupid because you can't really move anywhere. Can I move you back a little bit? That's a little bit stupid, but yeah, that was a mistake. Anyway, we are fine. How about you guys? Can I ask the infantry here to do flanking? No, cannot. Yeah, these guys should be, we should be able to take them out at some point soon. We've given up basically this little town here, but I think that's alright. If we can take Moscow, and if we can hold at least this part of Moscow, this western part of Moscow, I'm going to be extremely happy. So, that being said, thank you very much for watching guys, and I hope to see you around next time. Do leave a like and all of that, and any questions you might have. I know it's a complicated game, but I do hope that I make a good job of explaining it, but we'll have to see. And this here is just, our flank is still hanging so badly in the balance over here. Yeah. I suppose we will simply need to use the railroad to at least stabilize it over here, potentially, and then maybe in this vicinity. And then let them just come into this swamp area. I suppose they're not that strong over there. Maybe we just want to pull back all the way over here with these. I mean, these guys will be very isolated anyway, right? So yeah, let's actually pull them back. We don't have any troops to spare, so yeah, I think we have to do that. And now again we are a little bit exposed against that cavalry. They will be able to come through here, and we only have security forces here. This is not a very strong fortified zone here. Suppose we can actually move the 16th army out of this town. And we might have to build up a fortified zone there as well. Could be. Still 49 points. last thing that we might want to do then is check on our guys, on our leaders. Only the assigned ones. And only those with the very low ratings. Most of you are actually okay. Initiative 4 is not that great. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See you again next time. Bye bye.